In today's video, I'm going to share with you a backpack trip we did in late October 2022 to Hutch's Pool, which is a part of the Sabino Canyon recreation area along the Arizona Trail, AZT. The pool itself is a long rectangular pool, as you can see here, fairly deep water. Lots of great camping in this area, just below the pools. We camped about 10 minutes below the pool. We ended up traversing up to the pools by taking the Sabino Shuttle. $15 riding it to stop 9, which took off about 3.7 or 3.8 miles of walking on pavement. Let's check out the adventure. The shuttle ride itself is pretty nice. We saved our tickets so we could catch the shuttle back out the following day. But as you can see here, the shuttle is heading up the canyon to that last stop. After getting off the shuttle at stop 9, we ended up looking at the map that shows your route up to Hutch's Pool, taking the Sabino Canyon Trail up to the AZT, and then taking the West Fork over to Hutch's Pool. Stop 9 is actually the furthest stop on the shuttle ride. There's a nice little ramada there that you can sit underneath and keep out the sun. The trail itself, after stop 9, there's a bunch of switchbacks that takes you up to this ridge you can see here, and then the trail becomes a bunch of rolling hills. Here's a view of the switchbacks as we started our climb. After a few minutes on the trail, you actually come to a trail junction. We want to stay left here or head north and avoid going south down the phone line trail, which actually takes you back out of Sabino Canyon. You can see the canyon here itself. We avoided that hiking by taking the shuttle up to this point. As we peeked out on top of the ridge here, the views are great looking down into the canyon. So we're going up Sabino Canyon here. We're going to pick up the AZT in a couple miles, Arizona Trail, and get that a little bit to the west over to Hutch's Pool. Let's see what that looks like tonight. Not sure what the fire. A couple years ago, bighorn fire came through a lot of the areas higher up in the Catalinas, but we'll see what damage they might have done. End of October, though, we got good water running down, so didn't bring in a ton of water. 2 liters, because we'll be able to filter. Nice warm day. It's probably 80 degrees. As we continued up the Sabino Canyon Trail, this is actually a fairly easy hike, just rolling hills after you do those initial switchbacks. The trail itself, though, is fairly overgrown. I was surprised. We had a lot of moisture in the fall of 2022, so the grasses were fairly high, and not many people must have been using this trail because it's fairly overgrown. Eventually, we made it up to the West Fork, East Fork of the Arizona Trail. This is a tricky spot in making sure you find the right trail to pick up heading to the west. Picked up the AZ Trail here. Some nice water. It's the cairns. The rock cairns are very, very helpful in this section of the trail as you end up heading out on the West Fork of the AZT. The trail is very overgrown. You got water coming off the mountain here. Not easy to find in spots. You definitely want to leverage your GPS, your All Trails app, or whatever you're using if you lose the trail, and make sure you're on the right trail to get out the West Fork of the AZT. I just climbed out of the creek. There's your Sabino. Heading up the AZT here. Not too far from Hutch's. Go check it out, see what the water situation is on the AZT. A lot of very lush from all the rain. A lot of overgrowth. I've hiked this trail quite a bit on the AZT and the Catalinas here, but I don't ever recall it this overgrown in spots. So just some awareness. You can see
You can still see where he's going, but grass is, from all the rains this fall, late fall rains, it's grown over quite a bit. Still gorgeous. Got a little bit of fall colors going on up here. But let's get away our water report. Probably gonna camp tonight at Hutch's. Get you a view of what that water source looks like at Hutch's. Late October, and it's warm out here. Say low 80s maybe today, maybe mid 80s. So Hutch's pool is at the very end here.
Continue to push up the west fork of the AZT here, making our way towards Hutch's. I was amazed by how high the weeds and the grasses were in this area.
Looks like we're coming down to the creek here. Got one crossing before we get to Hutch's. Water's flowing really nice. Really like the water. Getting very close to Hutch's though. So Hutch's pool is right in there in that little ravine. You stay on the AZT, takes you to the left here up the ridge. A great place to spend the night is at Hutch's. So you take a little right turn up here, and you drop into the pool. And I'll show you that shortly. Here's the turn, I believe. You get this little rock cairn. AZT goes up. I'm gonna go right. Down to the pools. There's the pool.
As you enter Hutch's pool, there's a nice beach, as you can see here, with lots of sand you can camp at. The pool itself is very long and deep. We'll take a look at the pool from higher up. Let's check it out.
See the Hutch's pool down there. People do jump from those rocks. Never done that. A little too sketchy for me. The pool tends to fill in at times. But pretty impressive little pool. And it looks deep. Just below Hutch's pool, some potential camp spots as well that are more level that you could camp at. Of course, you're on the beach in many of these spots. I hate it when people do that. Build fires under rocks. spot just down from Hutch is maybe 5 minutes. Really nice, as you can see.
As you can see, there's plenty of places to choose from for camping. Lots of these spots are sandy and close to the water. We ended up heading back down trail about 10 minutes and setting up camp in a large grassy area, a little up from the water to stay a little bit warmer and out of the moisture as much. After finishing up our tent, we ended up heading down to the river to filter some water before the sun set on us so we could get some dinner prepared for the evening. Got a pretty good place here tonight. We got ready to start cooking some food, spaghetti and meat sauce, freeze dried. Got a good boil. That's what it looks like. Spaghetti. One of my favorite meals. Always put the water in the bag, seal it up. Stir it for a bit at first, but then I'll seal it, and then I'll stir it about 5 minutes in and make sure you don't get any hard chunks. I don't really like heating it in the pot, but it's just the way I do it. After eating dinner, we actually went to bed real quick because the temperatures dropped so fast, waking up the next morning to a lot of sub-mildew and trying to dry out our gear. My buddy's over there underneath those trees. Got a lot of nice fall foliage starting October 30th here. Gotta like that. Took you pretty close to the river. Just kind of walk through this trail here. The river's just down on the ledge here. Through the trees. Right over there is the river. Pretty nice place to camp. Hutch's pool is about 20 minutes up the trail, AZT. Highly recommend this little area though on the flats. For a lot of people in here, and you don't have the sand that you have at Hutch's. So if you're trying to avoid the sand, it's a good thing. There's a fire ring. We didn't do the fire, but just too much dry grass. But good place to just like chill and talk with your buddies. So, and there's more spots, right? You could put a big group in here. While we waited for the sun to come up and dry out our gear, I ended up sitting and watching some butterflies and some crickets in the area that were enjoying the sun rays as well. After packing up all of our gear from our camp spot, it was time to hit the trail and head back out and try to catch a shuttle. It's cat claws. That cat claw is one of my least favorite plants because it will slice you wide open if you're not careful.
Yeah. Look how lush.
After traversing the water near the trail junction with the east and west fork of the Sabino Canyon, we were back on our trail heading towards the shuttles. As we climbed up the hill out of this trail junction area, you get a great view of the west fork up to Hutch's Pool, where we ended up camping the previous night.
Hutch's is up in there.
We continued our way back down Sabino Canyon here, eventually catching a glimpse of the shuttle heading back down the canyon, realizing we were an hour away from the next shuttle pickup.
It's the phone line trail. Shuttle stop. Pretty good hike. Backpack trip. Almost off the trail here. We're gonna take the shuttle back for the last 3.8 miles on pavement to Sabino Canyon. It's always a nice way to avoid walking pavement. I'd rather walk trail any day, but good little adventure. Lots of water, which was nice to see.
We eventually made it down those switchbacks and then reached the trailhead, or the shuttle stop number 9, known as, resting underneath the Ramada, waiting for that next shuttle to come back up the mountain to pick us up. Catching that shuttle ride was nice, having that wind blow in our faces as we headed back down to the parking lot. Hutch's Pool again did not disappoint. Always a great place to camp for a quick overnighter or for a stop on the AZT. To our next adventure. Thanks for being here.